it's time to take a look at a new RC truck from one of my favourite brands. And this is what we're taking a look at today. It's the Traxxas Stampede 4x4 VXL. This is the one with all the heavy duty parts. Not just heavy duty, but extreme heavy duty. Now, Traxxas are an extremely controversial brand in the RC hobby, and there are various reasons for that. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about why Traxxas aren't very well liked in the hobby. Most of you already know anyway, but one of the biggest things is price. Of course, we have the famous X-Max, which costs £1,000. That thing is an absolute monster, but it's also extremely expensive. And because their vehicles cost so much, surely they're the best you can buy. Well, no, actually, and I'm going to use the X-Max as an example again. First, you need to spend £1,000 or $1,000 to actually get the truck. You then need to pump in a whole heap of money to actually make it better out the box. All of the stock Traxxas electronics are absolutely terrible, and when you've just spent that amount of money on an RC truck, you really shouldn't have to spend any more. But look, you either love them or you hate them. They're not going anywhere, and they're one of the biggest brands in the RC hobby. So this thing is meant to be the most extreme Stampede ever made. With all of the upgrades, it's also got upgraded VXL electronics. Well, I wonder how it's going to perform. They also say it will do 60 miles per hour plus. But if we take a look down there in the very small writing, it does say with a 3S LiPo battery pack and optional gearing, which is sold separately. Very clever, Traxxas. If I walked into a shop and see that, that would definitely get my interest. I think we just need to take a look at the truck. And here it is. This is the ultra mega insane Stampede that they're banging on about. Is it really going to be that good? So looking at this truck, it's basically a Hoss, but it says Stampede on the side. Even so, it still looks really cool. I do like the big wheelie bar on the back. And of course, this does have a clipless body system. That's always nice to see. Now, I really like the colour of this as well. I think it looks so cool. How cool does this truck look? So taking a quick look in the box, here we have our TQ transmitter. These things have been around for so many years. They're not the best, but they do get the job done. In here we have some shock preload spacers. It looks like we've got some stickers there as well. And of course the manual. That's pretty much it. So let's take a closer look at the truck. Let's take the body off and take a closer look underneath. So taking a closer look under the body, once again, everything is pretty much exactly the same as the Hoss. I don't think they've made any other changes on this. So of course we've got oil-filled shocks, adjustable turnbuckles. There you go, that makes my job slightly easier. There's a big list of all of the extreme heavy duty parts on this truck. So this is interesting. This actually has the bigger motor, and I think that's pretty much the same VXL 3S ESC that we've seen for so many years. But this one does come with a fan. There we have the 2075 waterproof steering servo. Yeah, everything on this does look beefy. It certainly looks like an extremely durable truck. So of course we need to see how fast that's going to go. It won't do that at 60 mile per hour top speed. That is claimed on the box, because as I said earlier, you do need to change the gearing. But what we should see is 40 miles per hour on 3S. But before we do that, would you like to win this truck? Now, if you want to win this truck, it is currently listed on Raffle, so head over there after this video if you want to take part. Right, so let's try 2S first to start the GPS. Right, so let's see how fast this truck will go on 2S. That is full throttle. Not very quick actually on 2S right out the box. That's full throttle again. Yeah, it doesn't feel very quick, but it is 2S. I'm guessing high 20s. We may even see 30 out of this. On 3S, they're supposed to do 40 miles per hour. We'll see what it does. Full throttle again. Right, let's bring it back. Let's see what we got. So let's hit stop and read. 26 miles per hour out the box, stock gearing on 2S. Right, 3S time, let's start the GPS. So let's see what this can do straight out the box on 3S. Are we going to see close to 40? Or will we actually see 40? That is full throttle. Yeah, it feels quick. It's nice and stable because this has a gyro as well. Not too bad, not too bad. Right, let's bring it back. Let's see what we got. So let's hit read. 41. That's pretty much exactly what they say this will do out the box. So next up, we need to see how this is going to perform off-road. This is the bit I'm really excited about. We're going to go to one of my favourite locations and we're going to give this thing a little blast. So yes, I've come to one of my favourite bashing locations. This place is really good in the summer. Not so much in the winter. It gets far too muddy over here. But this is the perfect location to test out this Stampede. And I am running on 3S. Now this thing handles really well. Tyre compound, slightly firm in my opinion. I think I'd prefer if the tyre compound was slightly softer. I think they're just a little bit too firm. Now, in my opinion, this truck just feels a little bit too sensible compared to the old two-wheel drive VXL. It just feels a little bit dialed back. I don't know, it just doesn't feel as fun. So many people are going to say don't ever buy a Traxxas. You can have just as much fun with something from MJX. Well, I kind of disagree with that. Depending on what you're talking about. I mean, the 10208, the new one, I should have a 1.1 coming soon for us to take a look at. I think you can have a very similar amount of fun, but the difference between the two is Traxxas quality is going to be so much better compared to MJX. And whether or not people want to accept that, that is the case. Traxxas is a premium brand. I think MJX still have a lot to learn. What I liked about the old Stampede VXL two-wheel drive was the fun factor. It's kind of been taken away with this. So there we go then guys, that was the Traxxas Stampede 4x4 VXL, but not any old Stampede, this is the extreme heavy duty one. So this is meant to be the most extreme and ultimate Stampede ever made, and is it? Well, truthfully, it kind of feels underwhelming. Now yes, I'm not throwing it around at a skate park, I have come to a location like this. Does that have something to do with it? Absolutely not, because you can have fun with RC cars out of the skate park. That's not the only place that you can have fun with one of these. Now don't get me wrong, on 3S, power does feel nice. It just kind of feels a bit boring. And I don't quite get the same amount of fun from this that I used to get from my old two-wheel drive Stampede VXL. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Drop your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Yes, it has a gyro. Do you really need it? Not really. It also has a self-righting function, which I'm kind of scared to use, and that's because it does put a lot of stress on the drivetrain when all you really have to do is walk over to it and flip it back over. So I'm interested to know what you make of this truck. Drop a comment down below and let me know. Also, don't forget you can win this one if you want to. Head over to Raffle after this video. Cheers for watching, see you on the next one. Take care. Now if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more from Traxxas here on my channel, click one of these videos now.